and gentlemen, in a word, Cher.
You think that's bad? Wait till you see this.
Chermoir.
Where am I? Who are these two fairies? Wagon wheel with Toozy. Oh, it's a podcast? You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Hello, lovelies. Welcome to our brand new podcast here at Glitter Plus headquarters.
Oh my God, we're here.
I feel like, do we need new names? Like, are we going to become Adam and Philip?
No, we have enough names.
All right.
Posh and Fab. I feel like Cher would still call us Posh and Fab.
She would.
So if she bothered to learn our names.
I'm Fab. She's Posh. She, her, he.
She,
him,
but with a
they,
CH for Cher.
Yes.
She Cher.
She Cher. Share her. Oh my God, this is already off the rails. Welcome to Glitter Plus and our first cab off the rank, which is Chermoir, Cher, the memoir, the podcast.
You did
part
it.
one.
Oh, I forgot the part one.
Well, she's keeping us hanging on for part two, so we're going to launch into it as much as we can. Yeah. So if you are a regular listener to whatever this mess is, you know we started talking about the Mariah Carey book, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, and then we listened to a lot of her discography. Then somehow we ended up in something called The Regular Verse, where we forced ourselves to listen to everything ever recorded as alleged music by Jennifer Lopez. And we were thoroughly underwhelmed, but every now and again we'd like something.
Yeah, sometimes we were whelmed.
Sometimes we had a whelm. Never overwhelmed, but sometimes we had a slight whelming.
I mean, sometimes overwhelmed by the regularity.
Oh my God, the regularity was overwhelming. But if you are joining us because you're a huge Cher fan and are thinking, why is nobody talking about this memoir of the decade, the century, given that she has been alive for at least a century?
Yeah, at least. They might be cottoning on at this point that we are horrific.
We're awful people.
we should let you know.
No,
that,
she told you on Twitter that she was older than Saturn.
No, that's true. She did.
That is a true thing. She replied to you in
Direct
a tweet
when
you made some joke about, her being older than something. And she said,
it was that Cher's been around longer than Santa. He leaves out snacks for her.
Yes, that was it.
And then she replied and said, I've been around longer than Saturn. And I couldn't believe that I had a message on my phone from Cher. I had just had a shower. Like, I wrote
Did you have to go back in again to really just rub one out?
Yeah, yes. No, oh God. Some of these listeners may not be across like triple DP yet.
Oh my God, we have so many terrible, terrible euphemisms. I have pressed the explicit button, so you should be aware that it's going to get gross.
And we should mention what we did with the Mariah podcast as well, is mention that we will make fun of, but also love Cher.
Yeah, we are gay. Like, this is what we do.
And it's what Cher does. She loves it.
Yeah, we adore, we mock, we celebrate.
Yes.
We are, as many hardcore Mariah Lamely discovered, we were not fawning sycophants. And there were certain parts of Mariah that we had problems with. Also, one thing, and I think it's going to happen with this book very quickly, we are happy to flaunt our privilege and say we are willing to learn about struggles. We learned a lot about racism as white men.
Yeah.
So I suspect in this book, we're going to run into a lot of institutionalized misogyny and possibly
Most
more
likely.
racism.
Yeah. Yeah. And, abusive family life, all of that.
So
we're not afraid to take things seriously.
I know. I have experience of that, so I am, I'm okay with that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not, because it's triggering, but I feel like it's something I can speak to. But the way women are treated is, again, we're both men. I mean, mostly. So yes, as two, gay, but mostly cis white men. We don't have that institutionalized kind of prejudice lobbied against us the way women do. We have different ones. It's a different, kind of prejudice. So we have some understanding of prejudicial behavior.
And we do need to be institutionalized. Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah, that's true as well. So yeah, we do sometimes get a little serious in this podcast. So strap in, because I believe the next couple of chapters are going to be.
Yeah, I mean, we dive right in, don't we?
I know. So the way we set up the Mariah podcast was one of us would read the book and the other would listen to the audio book, which was entirely narrated by Mariah, and we wanted to have that pure experience, both of us. So we would flip backwards and forwards. But because Cher is of a certain age and can't read an entire book in one sitting, so Posh is going to do audio duty, and I am going to Kindleify my eyes and read the textualizations.
I am curious as to how things will differ in delivery, and how it's absorbed. Because one of my favorite things about the audiobook, which we'll get to the fact that there are two people reading it, which is fine. But sometimes it's clear that something's gone and been re-recorded, and they would just throw an extra phrase in. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if maybe the audiobook was, recorded, and then they've gone and made like one more sweep of the book and made edits. And then they're gone, we need to change Norma Jean to Marilyn Monroe. So it's just like, blah, 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 something's happening. Marilyn Monroe. Anyway, and then this happened.
You mean there's a third person?
No, it's just obviously a different day.
Yeah.
Different tone of the voice.
That is a thing that happens sometimes with an audiobook, where you'll be halfway through a sentence and you're like, oh, you've woken up early.
Yes.
Halfway through the sentence. Good morning.
That happens in this podcast as well.
Okay. It does. Also, sometimes you'll notice with this podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, we do have a YouTube channel, you will see we wear the same clothes for like a whole month.
Yeah, it's crazy. In my defense, I actually always wear the same clothes. I have like 4 of this t-shirt. So just a black t-shirt, But yeah.
I'm wearing a Star Trek t-shirt for reasons that will become apparent probably in episode 3.
Okay.
I don't like forward selling. Listen to it.
Yes, absolutely.
No one's going to last till episode 3. Everyone will be horrified by just this intro.
Yes.
So we're going to just jump back into it. We have many regular segments. They've been Cherified.
Yes. Cherifying. Yep.
If you have, they're very Cherifying. If you have never listened to the Mariah Carey version of this, don't worry. You'll be fine. You're in safe hands. We won't explain anything.
Just get on board and figure it out.
We might, though. So our first segment is called Turn Back Time, where we recap what happened last time.
If I could turn back time.
All right. Last time, we read The Meaning of Mariah Carey. We loved it. This is a new book. That's our whole recap.
Previously on a different podcast.
And that was that segment. I hope you enjoyed it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Good work.
That's all right. And as we go, I will recap what happened last time in case you go, oh, which one was that? I don't remember. Because you might have read the book months ago. It's been out for a while.
And if you haven't read the book, feel free to read along with us.
Yes, you can do that too. Or just don't read it. I mean,
and we'll just tell you what happens.
I would say, please at least purchase it so that they don't come after us for ruining it.
Which we did. We actually did purchase.
Oh, I have made several purchases.
Yeah.
And
me too.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to the next one so I can have a box set.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
So it is time for the next bit, with the name of which I keep forgetting.
Well, it used to be called Breaking Me On Down, and now it's called...
I'm Cher, and I've always been Cher since I was this big.
Do you regret anything?
Oh, almost everything.
See, then that's what it's called.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now people who did the Mariah podcast will feel safe in the
Yes.
knowledge of that's what's happening here. But basically, this is where we go through the chapter.
Yes. Well,
And
you go through the chapter.
I
It's
go
what
through it.
we used to call in the old days a poshnopsis.
We can still call it a poshnopsis.
A poshnopsis.
Beautiful. Thank you. It's like she's here.
I used to sing poshnopsis, but to a Mariah Carey song. It was no good.
And I should also point out for anyone who's wondering, the intro is not in fact Cher singing.
No,
That may be shocking. It's actually just me.
it is. It is Posh. Posh
know.
sings. And
you
if we
believe
does she have like an evil anti-Cher that we can do, and I'll sing the song? Because we
Oh,
felt like
maybe. We might find out.
Jennifer Lopez was the evil anti-Mariah.
Yeah. I think it might be Grandma Linda in this.
Oh Jesus!
But let's
Poor
find
Grandma Linda.
out. All right. So we start. I mean, we've got some admin at the beginning.
Yes.
Said Cher. So we start with the dedication, which is to her mum,
Yes.
her sister G, and her kids. So that's nice. We're just touching on the.
It's about family.
I love them. Cool. Now we have a disclaimer already. So Cher lets us know that she's dyslexic, but she wanted us to have something of her when listening to the book.
Oh, lovely.
I think she's referencing the fact that the book is partially read by someone else, but she doesn't mention that. So it really makes no sense. She then signs off only to be back 3 seconds later for the next bit.
So
she's like,
we don't
bye.
get that disclaimer in the
No.
in the book.
This is
We
a
just
bonus feature.
We get one about basically the dead naming of Chaz.
Oh, that's coming up. There's more. So we've had dedication, disclaimer. Now we have epigraph.
Epigraph.
So I don't know if I've just written this word for word. Let's find out. Feeling broken, barely holding on, but there is just something so strong somewhere inside me. And I'm down, but I'll get up again. Don't count me out just yet. I've been brought down to my knees, and I've been pushed way past the point of breaking, but I can take it. I'll be back on my feet. This is far from over. You haven't seen the last of me. So it's like a little quote moment. I don't know what from. Maybe a song. We'll find out.
Yeah, but
Is it from You Haven't Seen the Last of Me? I don't know. Is it from The Greatest Showman? What?
from the burlesque?
Oh, yeah, cool. Well, because you didn't recognize Wagon Wheel or Doozy before, and I had to explain it.
I know the song, but I've never watched the film.
Right. Well, that's a fair point.
Because I love Christina and I love Cher, and I wanted to hear them sing, but I didn't want to watch them sing for like 90 minutes.
What's really fun, it's very similar to Coyote Ugly.
Right.
But it's Christina Aguilera looking at a map upside down for 3 hours. Like, I'm acting, she says as she looks at the camera. Yeah. It's quite awkward. Cher's amazing, but other than that.
Well, Cher is a great actor.
Now we have the author's note.
Okay.
So we've had the disclaimer.
So much admin.
The dedication, the epigraph, now the author's note. So Cher lets us know that the book is based on her imperfect memory. And also that in it, she reverses to Chaz as Chas, as that's the name he went by in the years covered in this book.
Right.
Now, Chaz has given his blessing for this to happen. And in the next volume, she will refer to him as Chaz once it gets to that point in time. I'm thinking we just say Chaz.
Oh, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be dead naming anyone.
No, and we're not Cher.
Because we're not their parent.
No, exactly. So we will be referring to Chaz as Chaz with he, him pronouns.
Yes, as Chaz would prefer.
So we have now more admin. You ready?
Oh my God, so much admin share. What's going on?
Now we have the preface. Or the preface. But
preface,
it's not.
but
It's
for
the
normal
preface.
people, but
It's
we-
the original face that Cher once had. Because we're turning back time.
You can't call it the preface for that reason.
Well, it's happening. It's what happened. Fairness. All right, preface.
Preface.
LA 1956. Cher is nomming on some peanut butter and jelly while watching American Bandstand. Ray Charles is singing Georgia on My Mind, which Cher assumed is about her mother, whose name eventually becomes Georgia, but wasn't originally. Then on the Ed Sullivan Show, Elvis shows up, and Cher, her mum, and 59,999,000 998 others were watching. Because she's like, 60 million people, including me and mum. So I was like, okay, so it's Cher, her mum, and that many other people.
I love that you've done the sums.
Yeah,
we
I know
never
math.
did math in the
I can't do
Mariah
math.
one because
Yeah,
Mariah
but-
doesn't do math.
No, but Cher must do math. I
Cher
guess.
must.
And she wanted to jump into the TV and be him. She begged her mum to take her to see him live. And luckily, Georgia was just as thirsty for the king and agreed. She's like, I'm going to throw my panties as well.
Can I tell you, just as an aside, the first time I saw Cher on the Sonny and Cher show, I had a very similar moment. I
Yeah?
wanted to be her.
Cher. Yeah.
I used to deliberately suck my cheeks in and bite them so I could get those really high cheekbones that she had.
Yeah.
But I was a fat baby, so that was nice.
But in this case, it's like, I want to be Cher, but I don't want to be near Sonny.
No.
How does this work?
But she had so many fabulous outfits. I wanted to
did
wear
have some
them.
great
I was
outfits.
5.
Yeah. Old enough to wear clothes, I guess. So, yeah, sequins, it's all good. So Cher's friends' mums, the mothers of Cher's friends, didn't approve of Elvis's pelvises.
No.
And
'cause
were more...
Cher's mum's friends were all grown-ups.
Yes. And as I put it, were more content to let the hubby dry rub their clit for 13 seconds before grunting and falling asleep.
Oh my God, what
I've
was
already said
that?
I've already said clit. We're here.
Oh my God, that was too much.
It's never too much. It's Cher. That was actually one of the sayings for the Mariah podcast was, what was like, too much is our starting point. Like, so we've already lost everyone who doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
They dressed up. They dressed up, and Georgia made sure that everyone thought they were sisters, not mother and daughter. We're sisters.
My sisters.
It's,
I mean, well, you know, we do
was
hear
young.
the story of when later on we find out when Cher was born, and they're not that far apart in age.
no. I'm surprised Grandma Linda wasn't there. You
It
know?
was also very close in age
Yeah.
to both of them.
Oh, don't worry, we touched on that. Elvis comes on, and the crowd goes, "What? Well, I wrote the crowd goes well. I think it's meant to be wild. It just says well. The crowd goes well.
So
Well,
just you know, you're not actually dyslexic. You forget what
I
you
might
write.
be a little bit. I don't know.
You do artistic stuff, and that's often
That's
a
true.
sign.
Yeah. I often what happens is I write things out 3 weeks before and then don't read them again.
And then forget all about them.
and then forget
I
about
go, what is that word?
Yeah, don't know. So
You could improvise like you know.
No.
No,
It's
okay,
less
good.
fun. Sometimes I do, to be honest. Sometimes I do. Cher reflects with sorrow the fact that she forgot to bring her iPhone. She's like, I should have brought my iPhone, damn it. Could have got some good photos. Now, Cher couldn't hear a thing over the screaming, but she could see the hips a wiggling.
Yeah.
And she knew she wanted to be on that stage.
Right. Most of the other women had just juiced up.
I'm nervous about the juicing.
Elvis, he was pelvising.
Yeah, that's true.
I would have juiced. I juiced at Austin Butler doing it, mate. Come on.
Oh my, I haven't seen it.
I
Is it
dilated to about 8 centimetres. Like,
As I always say, so you went down a little. Remember that joke?
oh, that reminds me of Mother Inferior.
Mother Inferior. Which comes up in one of these chapters. All right. We will actually get through this preface and make some sense. And then people will be like, remember that messy first episode? So I've obviously written something about us. So I said, when Fab and I decided on doing this book, the deciding factor was, for Fab, the deciding factor for you was that Cher discovered Elvis.
Yeah, she invented Elvis.
And I said,
And Ray Charles.
Yeah. But I said, but upon closer inspection, my friends, it would seem that Cher just discovered Cher. Just discovered herself in that audience. She's like, I'm Cher, and I'm going to be on that stage.
I
So
see
Cher,
I see someone in gold lame on a stage.
is it me? So Cher asked her mum if, like the other insane screaming girls, they could stand on their seats. Because everyone was standing on their seats at this point. I said, Georgia seems like a pretty loose unit. So she says, yeah, babe, sure. Cher, go on, whatever. I'm already on my chair. What are you doing?
You
Cher-
can if you want. I'm already up here, babe.
Yeah. Cher tried doing the math to see if Elvis could possibly marry her when she grew up, a task that turned out to be completely unnecessary given the age of the girl he actually married.
Oh, don't even. I thought that the whole time. I'm like, why has Cher not pointed out Priscilla?
Right?
I like Priscilla.
All right. Chapter 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm
Georgia
braced.
on My Mind is the name of our chapter.
Can I just say, I'm loving the chapter titles.
All being songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm holding my fingers like I've got long nails and I don't want to puncture myself, but I have just normal sized nails. I love it. I don't know how that happens.
I don't know. All right. Chapter 1. Georgia on My Mind. There's a photo of Cher herself that she has never seen. There's a photo of Cher out there and she's never seen it. No one's ever seen it.
That is a fan's holy grail.
Right? It's a black and white photo from 1947, hidden somewhere in her mother's house, that her mother couldn't bear to look at or show her because it was simply too painful. In it, a baby Cher clings to the railing of her crib in a children's home in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Do you think it was... We are not making fun of baby Cher in prison.
Baby prison.
Not happening.
Not making fun. I'm just trying to add to the ambience. You know, sometimes you listen to an audiobook and there's a bit of music or they've got some sound effects going on.
We're back to doing the sound effects when Mariah was in the spa and the mop came out. That's right. I get it.
Oh, the mop.
Don't! So I'm just going to barrel through. Taken by Georgia through a small viewing window, known then as 20-year-old Jackie Jean, a singer and waitress in an all-night diner. She would visit once a week in the home that Cher's dad placed her in, which we'll find out more about, before fucking off to do some Holly Marie Combs hustling, aka multi-level marketing.
What is Holly Marie Combs selling at the moment?
Some hair product.
Now, this is something else you need to know if you're new to this podcast. Posh is obsessed with Charmed.
And there's literally another Charmed reference in like 2 sentences time. In another picture are some old people with a dog, right?
Right.
So there's 2 photos, one of Cher, there's another photo of some old people with a dog. One time, Grandpa Bushybeard snapped a kitten's neck because it had a little drink of milk. He sounds nice. So
it's like you go, oh, that's gross. And then I'd completely forgotten about that because of how many fucking traumatic things happened between here and the end of the chapter. So Cher, about Dead Cat.
Right? Dead Cat is part of a different photo that's showing like Cher's like great-great-grandparents or something like that.
So she's seen that photo. She hasn't seen the photo of her.
So she has seen that photo.
But she hasn't seen Bushybeard with the cat.
Well, Bushybeard, I think, is in the photo, but just without the cat because the cat's dead.
The cat's not there. Yeah.
Cat's already gone. Cher's great-grandmother.
And it was a kitten was that her grandmother that loved it? Anyway,
someone loved it. But it drank some milk and they were like, well, that's our milk. So snap. Cher's great-grandmother, Margaret, used to collect herbs in the forest and have premonitions, like Phoebe in Charmed. And he's also in the photo, allegedly. One time...
I love that Cher is trying to prepare us for what may be some very metaphysical chapters to come where she's predicted the death of JFK and others.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I haven't read that far ahead, but I'm sensing that this is foreshadowing Cher's own psychic abilities.
Likely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I nearly called her Princess Margaret. Grandmother Margaret, also known as Princess Margaret. One time she foresaw her husband dying, and then the very next day she killed him. Or he died at work.
No,
in a fireworks
that was
accident.
One of my favorite moments because she had a dream about him exploding and coming down as confetti, and his job was to light TNT, and he blew himself up.
Yes, the very next day. Don't know how that happened. So now that hubby's dead, Grandma Mags can't afford to keep all of her kids, so she just keeps her favourite, the little ones who are still cute, and sends the rest off to cousin so-and-so who they've never met. One of these discarded children... Oh, God. It is. Grandma Angelina. One of these discarded children was Cher's grandma Linda.
Oh.
Now, to earn her keep, one of her chores was to get bread from the bakery. And that's where she met Cher's grandpa Roy, a baker's assistant.
Oh my God, Roy.
He's escaped his home to come to work for his older sister Zella, a wonderful but completely made up name.
I wish some
Zella.
more names were made up because there are a lot of Johnnies in this chapter.
Right, that's
these
confusing.
chapters, and I got very confused about who was who.
Thankfully, I mean, Grandpa Roy helps because we had Alfred Roy. Now we have Grandpa Roy.
We've got Grandpa Roy.
So it's good.
Very, very different vibes, though.
So Cher says that back then, all stories were told orally and not written down. It was a convenient way to hide the problematic age gap between Roy and Linda. 16 and 12, allegedly. But maybe could have been younger. Roy's mother used to beat him senseless, but gosh, did she have good taste in music. Cher's like, oh, she was really horrific, but she loved music.
I feel like every single person in all of these chapters are irredeemable people, but Cher finds something nice in them.
Yeah, something positive.
In all of them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I think you can legitimately hate these relatives.
Yeah,
of
it's
yours,
okay.
Cher. Like, you don't need to dress it up.
She did this, but gosh, she could whistle. Like, okay. So thankfully, Zella, the made-up name, and Aunt Clara from Bewitched could fix little Roy up after, the not-so-friendly cuddles from Mum.
Yeah.
And Roy briefly, after all of this was going on, Roy briefly considered becoming an outlaw, but then a 12-year-old Linda showed up, and after a moonlight swim, she was knocked up and popped out a kid at 13 or 12.
It's
Not sure.
It's, I mean, it's statutory.
There's a lot going on. Just a moonlight
It's-
swim. Don't know how that happened.
I feel like this is technically child abuse.
That's a lot.
It's difficult to read.
And this child that was birthed was Jackie Jean, a.k.a. Georgia Holt, a.k.a. Cher's mother.
Right.
So we've got a little baby Jackie Jean.
Right. So this
Now-
is not so much Cher's memoir as her memoir of her mum.
Literally. At this point, yes. Now, Grandma Linda was too young to cope, and Grandpa Roy was
She's
sick
12! Of course
I know.
she's too young to cope!
But Grandpa Roy was sick of her shit. So he took up
Well,
some
because
hobbies.
he's probably 14.
Right? He was 16. So he took up some hobbies like moonshine and adultery.
Oh my God.
Roy was arrested over 30 times, and having met him, Cher says that sounds about right. 30, give or take. After attacking a sheriff, Roy becomes the outlaw he'd always wanted to be, dragging little Linda and Bubs along for the
I
ride.
love that, dreams come true in this chapter. Amongst all of the trauma and, child abuse, there's a dream comes true. And Roy becomes an outlaw that he's
that's your
always
dream.
wanted.
Yeah. So they worked picking cotton and were paid in molasses, which I just wrote gross. No. Sometimes they'd eat a
I want
rabbit.
a molasses sandwich now. What does that
I
taste
said
like?
sometimes they'd eat a rabbit. Still gross, but less gross than molasses.
Oh, no, we had to eat rabbit when I was a kid.
Ooh,
Like, we were
really?
so poor. My mum would tell us it was KFC.
Ugh.
I think that was her little joke, like, that's not chicken that you're getting from the KFC. So
my
she
God.
would make it, she would make rabbit into, crumbed cutlets,
Stew.
basically.
Oh no! Oh god!
She would make,
Still better.
And
than
there were
molasses.
rabbits that my dad had shot, so you had to be careful that you didn't bite on the buckshot.
Oh no! Oh my
Yeah.
god! What century did you grow up in?
1970s.
Wow.
Our house was so bad. We had a gas stove, but there was also so the gas stove was in this add-on to the kitchen. In the main kitchen
the
was a
butler's
wood-burning
pantry.
stove.
Right. So you had a butler's pantry and a wood fire pizza oven.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
And the gas was cut off. So often, we had not enough money to pay the gas bill. So the gas was cut off. And it's a nightmare to cut off the gas. So, you have got to not pay for a long time for that to happen. And so every now and again, for about a year or two, my mum would have to cook on the wood burning stove.
So it's a wood burning stove. There's actual wood under it that you
there's
light
wood.
like a fire?
Yeah.
Oh. So again, it just sounds to me like you had two ovens. Brag. So, see, like Cher, I can find joy even in horrific circumstances.
So I understand joy, Cher's pain and joy at this moment. I've been
Yes.
there.
As I put it, all in all, it sounds wonderfully horrific. Sometimes, okay, we're going to get political, so strap in.
Okay.
Sometimes the government would help them with supplies during the Great Depression. It just dawned on me that this is the greatness Trump is trying to recapture. Make America Great Depression again. Oh, who am I kidding? He doesn't believe in depression, and he certainly wouldn't send aid to poor people.
Oh, no.
Side note, Cher hates Trump. So I can make these jokes unless you don't like them, in which case my name is Joel Creasy. So, you know.
Yeah, if you're here for the anti-Trump messaging, Joel has just been really on it today. You
could also find me at Reese Nicholson. At Tom Ballard. He's having a hard time. Send it that way. Not to me, because I won't read it. But no, it came up and I was like, there's so many parallels, and Cher mentions a lot of them to now, and it's like, this is scary. And I was like, you know what? We don't actually get very political, but Cher
never
really
get political here.
No, but Cher does hate Trump, so I couldn't. It's a fun joke. Sad but fun. Now, Jackie Jean was a sickly child, so much so that Roy and Linda had to drop her off at the Salvos, right next to the bags of clothes and the used DVDs. Now, that's what I pictured. Like, pop it down. Like on a Sunday when it's not open, so everyone just puts their crap at the front door.
I know.
Jackie Jean, however, even as a baby, I guess, could sing when she wasn't dying. When she wasn't dying, she could sing. And it was how she and her dad bonded. He was even fun when he was sober, as she puts it.
Oh, they all are when they're sober.
Side note, Linda never took to motherhood. So that's sort of preempting anything that may come up next.
She's 13.
Yeah.
Like, she's probably 15 by the time the kid's 2. Like, that's still too young to be in charge of anything.
Right. Grandpa Roy would pass his hat around the pub and Jackie Jean sang, and whatever he didn't spend on booze was all hers to buy candy for herself and tea for her mother, served Allison style.
That is a callback.
That is a callback to more trauma.
Stop double trauma. Stop double dipping on the trauma.
DP of trauma. Linda got real jelly over all the attention Roy gave Linda, so she hightailed it out of there. She was like, I'm done.
All the attention Roy gave Jackie. No, like Linda hightailed. But
Linda got real jelly all over the attention. Right, yes. Yeah. Jackie. Yep. So she hightailed. So Linda left. When Roy couldn't find her, he dumped Jackie at the closest pedophile uncle's house.
Oh my God, don't.
Right? It just gets worse.
Yuck.
Then Roy and Jackie travelled around America so that she could sing at every rundown smoky pub they could find.
Yeah.
Roy kept searching for Linda, and when he eventually found her, was sure to knock her up again quick smart. My God. Found ya. You're it.
Oh my God. She's still underage.
Yeah.
He's now much more of age.
Yes, true. So it's even more of a crime now.
Like if Jackie is old enough to stand up and sing a song in a pub, like she's got to be at least 5.
Yeah.
So what's Linda? 15, 17?
Yeah, something like that.
And then he's maybe nearly 20.
Oh, God.
Or more. Yep.
So then he and Jackie hitchhiked to Hollywood. Just as you do. Oh, we're going to Hollywood. Found you, Linda. Knocked you up. Bye.
I'm taking Jackie to make my fortune with her singing ability.
Now, Jackie didn't have shoes and would, like Mariah, get ice in her flaps. She'd go through the snow and all the flappy bits of the shoes would fill with ice.
It's not appropriate. She's 5.
Well, Mariah wasn't exactly. Mariah was 12.
An adult. She was she's at least 17.
Well, that's impossible because she's only 12 now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. She was 12 all her entire life.
Eventually, Roy realised the overnight success may not be coming. So he got a job at a bakery and brought Linda and the Bubs out to join them. To her delight, Linda discovered Roy had fathered another child with another teenager. Oh. And we don't hear about that ever again.
Never. Okay. We never hear about Cher's other uncle.
Nope.
Or auntie.
No. Yes.
Maybe they come back later. Maybe this is
That's what
also
I'm hoping.
foreshadowing.
Yes.
I doubt it.
5 shadowing even.
I think
After Roy started drinking again, they moved back to Oklahoma, but Jackie ends up going to Aunt Zella's. We love Aunt Zella.
Aunt Zella's great.
Aunt Hilda, Aunt Zella, you know, all the aunts from Sabrina. She said it was the
I
best
watched
6
the
months.
thing with Aunt Zelda in it the other day.
Oh, was it? What was it?
She was a judge in Bosch.
Good girl.
Bosch is pretty much, it's one of those shows where the lead actor is that guy that's in everything.
Yeah.
And he's cast the entire show with everyone from his That Guy in Everything WhatsApp group, which
Yeah,
includes
perfect.
Aunt Zelda.
Is Judy Greer in it? Because she's always that girl from things.
She's not, but she should be.
Yes, she should be.
It really has like you're like, oh, what's he from? And then you look it up, you go, oh, he's just in everything. Nothing memorable, but in everything.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to forget his name now, but the comedian, American comedian, maybe probably in his 50s or 60s now. And he's always like that smarmy, slimy guy. Oh, no. What's his name? Richard Kind. Richard
Oh,
Kind.
yes. He's the best. He's in
The
everything.
best. And everyone knows him, but they don't know why.
Yeah.
So Jackie said it was the best 6 months of her life living with Aunt Zella. And Zella was actually going to adopt Jackie. But after old Linda left old Roy with the baby, Jackie was so worried about the little brother that she went back. So Linda's gone again, left Bubs with Roy, and Jackie's like, well, I need to go and
go look after my little brother.
By this point, Linda had married a Sicilian man. When she came to see the kids, or more specifically, Roy forced her to see the kids, she was horrified with how they were living. The next day, she showed up with some money for them, and Roy forced her into bed.
Oh, to try and make her have another kid?
I guess. And then when the Sicilian hubby found out, he punched him in the teeth and agreed to adopt the kids. So that's fun. Joy, again, finding joy in trauma.
Finding joy in trauma.
And just when you think things are looking up,
Yes.
surprise attempted murder.
Oh, I know. So much.
So Roy, after this moment, Roy received a court order saying he'd lost custody of the kids.
Yeah.
So he did what any rational man would do. He tried to gas them.
Oh.
Jackie remembers him coming home one night, completely sober, turning on the gas and leaving her and her brother in bed. Like, leaving, see you later, I'm going to bakery. Luckily, she heard the hissing and got them both out. But she'd repressed much of this until years later when Cher paid for her to get some therapy. Or Cherapy, as
Therapy.
But oh my God, just reading it. We'll get to it in a second properly, because we're nearly at the end. But it was rough. This chapter was rough.
Yeah.
The Sicilian moved them all away and was a good stepfather to Jackie. But that wasn't good enough for Linda, who'd become jealous of their bond.
No.
She decided to send Jackie back to her father when she was 13, and she was leaving the Sicilian for his nephew. Oh boy! Yeah! Like what?
So she's 13. Jackie would have been 26.
Mm-hmm.
Or 25.
Something about that, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going
I think
to
the nephew's probably more her age.
Probably, yeah. What's hard though is as the chapters go on and Linda finds new partners, we don't know what happened to this one. Like,
No.
I'm
Nah,
not sure.
I was surprised that Linda was still part of the scene.
Right? She really kept trying to leave.
Yeah.
She was like, I've dumped you a few times now. You keep coming back.
Yeah. They're bad pennies, children
Oh
of
my
mine.
goodness.
That I had
Jackie,
when I was too young to understand what was going on.
Right. Jackie couldn't deal with either of her parents, so she found a job as a live-in maid in the city. It was a hard job, but a massive improvement on her life so far. If she got her work done she could attend a local high school and study at night. While at times sad and lonely, Jackie seemed to thrive at this time in her life. She even got a scholarship to college. But after a phone call from good old reliable Roy, who had broken a bunch of ribs and was in a full body cast, drunk no doubt, adds Cher, she gave it all up to return to care for him. Though she was determined to someday get back to the city.
Someday.
Yeah, we're back to
The Mariah Carey.
Mariah. That is chapter 1, Georgia on My Mind.
And the
of
preface.
Chermoir. And the preface. How are we feeling? My goodness.
Oh, it's a lot.
That's a lot. Should we get into our little segment of our little overall thoughts?
Yes, let's move on.
It's my professional opinion.
Oh, thanks, Cher.
Thanks, Cher. So my professional opinion is that a lot happens. It's pages and pages and pages of misery.
Yeah.
And you know the main character gets out because it's Cher's mum.
It's Cher, yeah.
And Cher hasn't been born yet. But fuck, she has a rough trot.
She really does.
And it's like, the other thing is, like, it's so early in the book and there are way too many characters. Like, as you were bringing
It
them
was
up, I'm like...
really hard to push
I was like,
upside.
oh, Zella. I forgot about Zella. Oh, the cat man.
And it's also, it's so generational. It's when she'll say, like, Aunt Zella. I'm like, wait, whose aunt was Zella?
Yeah.
You know, it's Roy's sister. Okay. So it's George's aunt. Like, it was those things. And George's name isn't Georgie yet. It's Jackie.
Yeah.
Like, those
Jackie
things were difficult.
Yeah. Also, it's a lot of characters who aren't Cher. And I'm here for Cher.
Yeah.
Like, I understand its backstory. It's
Yeah.
how Cher's mum became Georgia and how Cher became Cher.
Yeah.
But it's, like, fascinating stories and enough for at least 42 Lifetime movies.
Absolutely.
Starring Lacey Chabert and Melissa Joan Hart.
Yes. Here for it. I did say, like, in my professional opinion, I said opening chapters can be tough.
Yes.
Especially when you have to learn about everyone's nan and pop. Because that's always what happens.
Yeah.
They kind of usually the chapters you can't wait to get through.
Was that when we met Addie the Parmesan Nazi?
I think she came in. I think she came in when Mariah was about 5, and put her parmesan on everything. Oh my god, Addie the Parmesan Nazi. Good times. But I did feel, at least in this case, as tough as the life was.
Yes.
Normally it's like, you know, Nan worked at a sandwich shop and Pop ran the Mitre 10. Whereas in this one, it's like, oh God, like this is quite a life.
Oh yeah,
So at least we're getting a story with some freaking juice to it. You know, it's like, okay.
I know, but it's a lot of juice.
It's very early on. It's
difficult.
like, oh, bam, bam, bam. Like,
and I get that it was the Depression. I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think the Depression was painted well enough. It was just more...
Yeah.
It was just like everything was bad. Everyone was bad.
Yeah, true.
People behaved badly. Bad people did bad things.
Yeah.
People that had bad things done to them became bad people themselves.
Yeah.
Like it's... Yeah.
And of course, back then there was not a lot of, you know... well, there was no therapy. There was no dealing with anything. It's just this happened.
I mean,
and we got on
people
with it.
were surviving. Barely.
Yeah.
And I get that. I understand that. And, you know, I've lived that. So I get it. But it's still... It's just a lot. Like, it felt like dot points of trauma. Like, this trauma and this trauma and this trauma.
And
anyway, I got another trauma for you.
But I'm curious to see how it all informs what happens next.
Yes.
So it would be really awkward if, like, this is the part of the book that's, like, real juicy and interesting, and then when Cher's like, and then I became famous, and nothing happens.
And I wore a glitter gown to this event.
Yeah, literally. I'd still read that book.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's the book I thought we were getting, not all this trauma.
Maybe that's part 2.
Maybe that's part 2.
Because glitter plus we want glitter. Yeah. So each chapter we're going to give them a little score.
Yep.
So what have you given out of 10 to the first chapter?
Look, not enough Cher.
Okay.
So that takes off a few points. But still, it's juicy. We learn a lot. There are, like, while they're traumatic stories, there's still fascinating stories of often triumph over terrible circumstances. So I'm going for a 7.
Okay.
Out of 10.
I've gone for an 8.
Oh,
you know, solid 8.
Love trauma though.
I just love it so much. Oh my god,
you love
you're so
charm.
right. Yeah, and it's not because of the storylines.
Oh no, it's nothing to do with what's happening on the screen.
Yeah. I thought it was a decent intro. Like, as far as first chapters go in a book, I'm like, okay, it's got my attention.
Yeah.
But it is quite heavy, so it was like,
a lot.
okay. And like you said,
All
not
at
quite
once.
enough Cher yet. So I was like, okay, it is good. So I've gone for an 8. But I think it's not a joyful 8. You know, it's like it's 8 because I'm like, okay, we're here. But I'm hoping for some more joyful 8s and 9s and 10s along the way.
Well, speaking of joy, we can inject some joy if we want to, because in our next segment, we turn back time again.
And I can turn back down.
So for anyone who's confused about what's about to happen, this used to be called the remix,
Yes.
where we take something from the chapter and we reframe it.
Yeah.
Remix it. Because Mariah loves a remix and Cher probably loves a remix.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
Absolutely does she love a remix.
She's going to do 7 versions of Bang Bang Shot Me Down. So, what is the remix that you would have if you could turn back time? What would you change in this chapter?
Look, after the whole Great Depression, like that whole thing, like just the desperation, the poverty, the dire straits people are clearly living in, I thought maybe as a world we should have rethought capitalism.
Sure.
But we persisted.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
And here we are.
On the verge of it happening all again.
Also, can we talk about anytime someone says Dire Straits, of course you think of the band, but I used to think that the band was just a lady called Dire.
Oh, Diana Straits.
Dire Straits. Gloria Estefan. Dire Straits.
Yes, Dire Straits.
Yeah.
Yes, I know her. She's
So yeah, when
it's
my
like a drag name. Hi, I'm Dire Straits.
And every time that my best friends,
apostrophe Straits.
yeah,
She's Irish. Dire Straits.
Oh, Straits. Done. Because my best friend's dad, I think I made the joke of like, oh, we're in Dire Straits, as in using it properly. And he said, oh, great band. And I was like, he likes Dire Straits? I thought she was like, like Dolly or, that's unexpected for someone who likes Led Zeppelin.
You like
But
Shirley
alright.
Bassey and Dire Straits.
See, I knew we'd come up with new stupid things in the Cher world, in the Chermoir.
Dire Straits. Diane, please. I like my full name.
Yes, yeah. Diane O. Straits. Stupid. All right.
Yeah, I would have gotten rid of capitalism at this point. Like, I know that's a big rewrite.
It is. Look, it's a doozy.
Maybe
but
a
fair.
bit more socialism, a
Tough
bit
but
more
fair.
care of the community instead of just leaving them to fucking eat each other, which is kind of. I felt like we were one awful situation away from someone eating Jackie Jean's brother as a snack. Like it was.
Exactly.
I was like, these poor kids are having so much done to them.
Yeah, we don't know what's happened to him either.
No.
Not really.
I think the other thing I probably would have done, and this is more on a writing thing, is maybe not been so sympathetic towards Roy, because he comes off as like a lovable
I
rogue
loved him. Yes,
that is raping children and making them have babies.
Yeah.
And also maybe a little less judgment for someone who gave birth at the age of 13 and
Yes,
so is
sure.
clearly not coping. And of course she saw other kids as competition because she's a kid.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so, I thought Linda was treated as kind of like, Linda's useless. But, lovable Roy who tried to kill him.
Yeah. I think I call him Reliable Roy. God, he was just fun.
I just in a writing, and it could be like internalized misogyny, like seeing the woman as being competitive, because I'm sure Cher has met many competitive women in her life. And so that could be a little bit of that talking, like, oh, of course she was jealous. But it's like, she's 12. Like, she's a 15-year-old with a 5-year-old. Like, of course she's jealous of attention.
Yeah.
She's not old enough to have any kind of understanding of emotional intelligence. Roy he just seemed like he's done some horrific things.
Oh, yeah.
And
And
it's
then more
like,
to come.
oh, Roy! Roy's at it again. Oh my God,
Silly
he's got another
little
girl
Roy.
knocked up and she's underage. Oh, bloody Roy.
fun,
What's he
yeah.
like? What a card.
That's so true. Oh my God.
So I would have changed that just in the
Fair.
writing and the attitude.
The tone. Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose my change, it's not exactly the same, but it's in that sort of overarching vibe. because there's a lot I'd want to change. But
Oh
the
yeah,
main
there's so
thing,
much. Like you
the
can't
main
pick
thing-
one thing.
No. If I could turn back time, I'd stomp up to Grandmother Margaret, the psychic,
Yes.
point at my life and say, you didn't have any premonitions about this, did you, babe? Like, see this? You watched your husband do little fireworks, but you didn't see all this shit, did you?
Yeah.
I'd be like, come on.
Come on.
What was that about? What are you holding out
Also,
on me?
why didn't you tell him not to go to work?
Also, yes! Oh my God, that's so funny. I suppose they weren't.
You know he does explosions for
I don't
work.
think
Just tell him not
he
to pop up.
was- I don't think he was in the same town.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he was away for work.
Well, send a
So
psychic message through the ether.
Exactly. Invent the telephone. You didn't foresee that?
Put it in his tea leaves and then throw them down the road.
Exactly.
He'll
Oh
be
my
able to
God.
read it. He's also psychic, sure.
Oh my God. Is he? I don't know if we've established that. I
He's-
think if he
he's a-
was, he'd be with us still.
He's
even
confetti
now.
now.
Murder confetti, as it's now known. And if you could rename the chapter, what would you rename it?
Well, my first rename was Content Warning Child Rape. But all the chapters are song titles.
Yes.
So I've gone with the Dragon song, Are You Old Enough?
Oh God.
Because clearly not.
No.
Like if you can
The answer
answer
is
that
no.
question, if you have to ask the question,
Yeah, it's probably
the
no.
answer is probably no.
No, no.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, I've gone a little more fun.
Oh, of course you have.
Kind of. if you
The
can.
trauma got to me. I just had to roll with
Yeah.
it.
Mine is Reliable Roy and the Linda who just didn't care. Which kind of ties into what you were saying about,
Oh, yeah.
oh, Roy.
Oh, Roy.
But Linda just didn't care.
Linda cared a lot, but, you know, she was...
The child.
Yeah,
All
she was
right.
a little kid.
Are you ready for a Cherism?
Love Sherry's.
If I want to put my tits on my back, it's nobody's business but my own.
Thank you, Cher. Now, this is where we... this is
my
where we
back.
pick basically a quote
Mm-hmm.
or it can be a line delivery or a phrase that is either hilarious or just like
Very
hilariously horrifying or just very Cher.
Yes.
So would you like to tell me what is your Cherism for this week?
So it's from possibly the moment that I was like, you haven't misunderstood this woman, this poor child who's having children.
Yes.
And then she runs off with the nephew. Geez, my family, you couldn't make it up. To which I say, Cher, I wish you had. I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
I wish you'd inserted some fun bunny moments instead of one cute kitten that was murdered.
Right? Oh my God, the poor cat. In front of the children. It's a lot.
Oh, whew.
So, and I'm pretty sure, was that Roy's family or Linda's family?
I don't know
remember
who that was, but it's a lot.
Mine, it's a little longer. It's sort of a piece.
Oh, it's a whole chapter.
Just because
whole
it it's just a lot. It is, my grandpa Roy dreamed of becoming an outlaw like Jesse James or Pretty Boy Floyd. But then he met Grandma Linda and fell for the 12-year-old girl with no life experience. After a moonlit swim together, she was pregnant. It's just the whole sentence. He wants to be an outlaw, but then he fell for the 12-year-old with no life experience. And oops, she's pregnant. Oh my God.
I mean, the 12-year-old bit is the bit where you go, you don't gloss over that as a moonlight
No.
swim.
And especially because at first when it was happening, it's like, they met in the same town. He was at the bakery. She was only 12 and he was 16. Okay, but maybe they were friends for a few years and then got together. But no, it's just after one quick moonlight swim, as it tends to happen,
Yeah.
she got pregnant.
And
I was just like,
the
that's quite a
painting of
sentence.
Linda like some kind of, like running around, and you're like, she's not. She's damaged. She's not coping.
No.
Anyway. Oh, that's a lot, Cher. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if no one comes back for this podcast after
No.
this.
But
It's
it's
a
just
lot.
funny. As we're doing it, I'm like, oh, we've settled in now. I feel like we've found our Cher groove. I'm like, okay, we've proven that we can talk about serious things even while being horrifically silly.
Yeah, it's oh my God. I'm still quite traumatized by the whole thing. Like it's so much in such a short space of time.
Strap
Like it
in
feels
for
like
chapter 2.
every paragraph is a trauma. It's like
Right.
oh what?
That
Okay,
happened?
oh no,
Yeah.
oh what?
Yeah.
He's
Which,
got
I
some
mean,
other kid knocked up. What is going on?
as you mentioned, Mariah's book had similar traumas, but maybe more modern day and slightly less of.
Yes.
We're getting some stuff that it was just so normalized.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, sure. And it's being said to us like it's normal. Like
Yes.
moonlit swim. Okay.
It is. Yeah. It's highly traumatic.
It
This is where we used to go home.
Yes, from
And
Mariah
we
as
are
well.
technically on our way home, but it's got a new title.
Fluff and crap.
Cher just said that somewhere, and I thought that needs to be the name. Fluff and crap. It's just the part at the end where we might talk about what happens next week. We might have this and that. We might be making things happen. But I thought we should dive into quickly a little audience participation. Because we love to hear from the audience.
We love it.
And so if you have your own professional opinions on the chapter, or if you have a turn back time, a little remix that you want to give us, or
absolutely.
a Cherism, please send them through, and we will
Favorite
read them out.
Cherism would be amazing. There are so
You can
many.
even give us a score for the chapter. What do you think? Are we wrong? Like, be
Yeah.
nice. I can't handle people not being nice to me.
He can't.
Adam, you can be mean to Adam.
Yes.
Or Fab. You can't be mean to me.
Also,
or
we would
cry.
love a score on the podcast wherever you listen to it. Like, you can
Yes, a
give us a
little-
rating. You can give.
I prefer a 5-star.
He prefers a 5-star. I'm happy for no stars. So if you want to settle at 4, just so he doesn't cry, that's fine. I'm fine. Or if you want to give me 1 star and give him,
and give
4,
me
that's
4.
also okay.
Yeah. As I always say, I can dish it out. I can't take it. So I'll be horrific, but you ain't getting nothing in there. So we did have a couple of messages from Ian on
hi, Ian.
Instagram. Now, this is jumping back a little bit. We're turning back time to the Mariah podcast, but I thought I'd forgotten to bring these messages up
Right.
when we were recording. So I thought, let's get into there because he's taken the time to...
Well, it's
message
Glitter
us.
Plus. It is an overall
Yes.
Mariah theme.
Absolutely.
And we're here in Fluff and Crap, which includes fluff and crap.
And crap. Yeah, and Mariah is the producer of this whole thing.
Yes, this is a Mariah Carey station, but she allows room for legends and icons like Cher.
Yes. So Ian wrote to us, dolls, they've removed Mariah's World from Hey You.
Oh,
Because this is when we're doing the horrific docuseries, Mariah's World.
don't call it a docuseries. That makes it sound
know.
actually respectable.
I need to know what easily avoidable hazard kills off Molly. As we found out, she got killed by a katana in the disco cake. I wrote back, we're currently working on episode 7 and they're still talking about the baby on the bus. And Ian says, I heavily suspect that something happened off camera between the creative director and the background vocal artist. The way she says he went too far the other night and you don't mess with my kid doesn't make sense in the context of him just going to Stella and Mariah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he did something foolish. Maybe he gave the kid the finger when he was on the phone with Brett Ratner. I don't remember what any of that's about, but I said if only something that interesting would happen.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And then a little after this, Ian got back to us with a comment saying, girls, that's us, I'm convinced that the assistant, in parenthesis, plant,
Yes.
so the planted assistant,
Yes.
was reincarnated as a contestant on Deal or No Deal Island in season 2, the character of Sydney.
What?
And I said,
Is it Deal or No Deal Island?
this is what I wrote. I said, I'm beside myself to find out there's a show called Deal or No Deal Island. Now we need Mariah's World Island. Only please no.
It's Mariah's World Island is only Trey Lorenz and he's blurred the entire
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Lots of blurry characters. I wonder how many blurry characters there'd
Just
be in the
a
show.
bus full of children.
Yeah.
And Anthony just standing outside. Which child do you choose to open
To
the
not be on the
suitcase?
bus. Yeah.
Deal or No Deal has an island?
Apparently.
How?
It's
Like-
just Andrew O'Keefe. He just got a bit lost. You know?
not
And they
allowed
had to
to
take
leave
the
the
show to
country.
him. to take the show to him. Is he actually in jail now?
Wasn't he in jail? I thought he went
He was in
to
trouble.
jail. He's
I don't
in
know if
trouble. He's a
in
bad
jail.
man.
He's in a cot and everyone's looking at him through a window. So he brought it back.
So have you got anything you want to trumpet here in
I mean,
fluff
you know,
and crap?
my single EXO baby's out there and
EXO
it's
baby.
climbing the chart.
Possible Prince
don't
X,
know which
if
one.
if you're new to the podcast, Possible
Yes.
Prince X is Posh's other alter ego
Mm-hmm.
and makes music.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately, I'm so
it's
sorry.
exciting, fun music. But also a little bit depressing, which I enjoy.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
I like a sad song with an
A
upbeat.
happy, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And maybe I should make the Chermoir intro available on Spotify somewhere.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that it? Is that everything we need to touch
That
on
is
in our
everything
first
we
episode?
need to tell you that next week we'll be diving into chapter 2
Yes.
of Chermoir. Cher the Memoir, the podcast. Part 1. It's so. Why do I
Beautifully
keep
said.
giving these podcasts stupidly?
I know. This I can't even take the blame for this one. This was all you.
Yeah.
The last
I know.
one was 50-50.
Yeah.
This
Got out
one's
of
just
control.
you. Yeah. I'm in charge of the insane songs.
But yeah, next week we are going to spend some more time with Jackie Jean and her trials and tribulations. But we may, if we're lucky, have some Cher in the
Maybe.
chapter.
I don't remember.
Cross your fingers.
I've already written it, but I don't remember.
All right, bye, lovelies.
Hi.
Chermoir, Chermoir,
Where am I?
Chermoir, Chermoir,
Who are these two fairies?
Chermoir, Chermoir,
Wagon Wheel with Toozy. Oh, it's a podcast? You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Glitter Plus.